ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ Namaste, all of you. Welcome back to our continuing study of Shrimad Bhagawad Geetha from the pages of Poojya Swamiji's, Poojya Swami Dayananda Saraswati's Geetha home study course. In these sessions, we are together exploring chapter 17 of Shrimad Bhagawad Geetha, titled Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga, a topic that deals with the three types of Shraddha based on the three gunas: Sattva guna, Rajo guna, and Tamo guna. Krishna, as a bonus, discusses three more important topics or four more important topics in addition to the three types of Shraddha, and they are Ahara, means food that is consumed. What is Satvika Ahara, Rajasika Ahara, and Tamasika Ahara? Likewise, the three types of yajna or rituals, or three types of worship, mainly rituals. Then the three types of tapas, Satvika, Rajasa, and Tamasa tapas, Tamasika tapas, which Krishna also classified based on the three karanams, that is, Shariram tapas, Vachikam tapas, and Manasam tapas. Having said that, he classified them as Satvika, Rajasika, and Tamasika tapas. In the last capsule, we concluded Satvika tapas taken from the standpoints of Kayikam, Vachikam, and Manasam. We must remember that. And we looked at what kind of mentality such people who practice Satviki tapas have. Let's quickly revisit those portions and then proceed with understanding what Rajasika tapas is. We saw in Shloka 17 what or how inclined Satviki tapasvis are. It said, Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapastatribidham naraihi aphalakankshibhir yuktaihi satvikam parichakshate. So, what kind of people are they? Who are the people by whom the tapas being discussed here is done? They are not doing it for the sake of a result like security, pleasure, or punya to be enjoyed later. They are free from all such expectations with reference to results. They are the aphalakankshis and are doing it for mental purity, antahkarana shuddhi. They have a mind which is composed and committed, yukta. They are the ones with vyavasayatmika buddhi, a buddhi which has its priorities well established. They are committed and composed, yukta. And those who have been well taught, they say, the parichakshates, they say that this tapas, this sort of tapas done by such people is sattvika tapas. Purely from the point of view of antahkarana shuddhi, such tapas is undertaken. It would be interesting to make a comparative study between satvika ahara, satvika yajna, satvika tapas, and satvika danam. We'll find that the qualities mentioned, the propensities mentioned are more or less the same. Very interesting study. Let's now move on to Shloka 18 that describes Rajasika tapas. I will recite the shloka and then we'll move forward. सत्कारमानपूजार्थं तपोदम्भेन चैव यत् क्रियते तदिह प्रोक्तं राजसं चलमध्रुवम्. Satkaramana pujartham, for the sake of receiving honor, for the sake of receiving honor, respect, and worship. Cha eva, and indeed, dambhena, dambhena, with ostentation, showing off, basically. Yat tapas, the tapas which kriyate is done, tat, that tapas, chalam, which is unsteady, that tapas which is done is unsteady, adhruvam, not lasting. Iha, here, rajasam proktam is called rajasika. That tapas which is done for the sake of receiving honor, respect, and worship, and with ostentation, which is unsteady and not lasting, is called here Rajasika. This type of worship is done by people not for Antahkarana Shuddhi. but purely for satkara. That is for the purpose of being considered a good person by others. Shankara says it is done so that people will say he is a good person, an ascetic, a brahmana. Ayam sadhuhu tapasvi brahmana. He wants to pass as all of these. He practices austerity so that people will say, look how disciplined he is, how nicely he talks, how he eats so sparingly, etc. This is exactly what he wants. He is doing tapas for no other purpose. It is just another form of proving oneself. This is called Satkara Mana Pujartham. Satkara Mana Pujartham. He will also appear in a particular form that will reveal that he is a great tapasvi. And he will not do his tapas quietly sitting at home, but in a public place where he can be noticed. He will have the accessories of a sadhu, like a kamandalu in his hand, and will demand that when he walks in, everybody should get up. This is mana. He makes sure that everybody recognizes him as a tapasvi and that they all prostrate to him and receive him with respect. He demands respect, and he will insist that the highest seat is offered to him. If he sits lower than anyone, if he sits lower than anyone, he will think he is disrespected. This is called mana. This is called mana. He is a tapasvi so that everybody will worship him. And he keeps his feet ready for that. Pada puja, that is washing, anointing, and offering flowers, etc., to the feet, is something people generally do to sadhus. But this person poses as a sadhu, poses as a sadhu in order to get that done. It is exactly the reverse of what it is supposed to be. Some people really want that kind of result for their efforts. Poojya Swamiji says he knew one person like that. In one particular month, Marga Shirisha, we used to go around the town every day early in the morning and sing bhajans. There is one chief, the organizer, who walks in front of the group. Sometimes, as we went around, people would come and offer namaskaras. The leader seemed to enjoy it and look forward to the namaskaras. Some people love it. This is not something that is only for discussion, it is all true. There are such people who want respect to be shown to them. This is all because they have no self respect. They don't have any self respect. If you do not respect yourself, you want others to respect you so that you can see yourself as respectable. And there is always someone to show that respect to you. But there is no growth and no possibility of antahkarana shuddhi over here in this situation. This type of tapas is done by the person out of dambha so that he can get recognition, get recognized for his work. Just to make people know that one is a tapasvi so that he can get all the honors. When he does tapas, he makes sure he has an audience, attention grabbing. That tapas is called Rajasika here in the Shastra. Tat tapaha rajasam proktam iha. Tat tapaha rajasam proktam iha. This is tapas born of Rajoguna. What else is talked about such a tapas? It is chalam, unsteady, and not lasting, adhruvam. People may give him some respect for some time, but later they will find out that he is not a real tapasvi, not a highly disciplined, evolved religious person. Whatever opinion they had will change. This is because when one is not a tapasvi and poses as one, the responsibility is too enormous to maintain. One day or the other, he will burst out. Somebody will fail to respect him. Somebody will fail to respect him the way he wants, and he will get angry. Then people will understand what tapas he has. Therefore, such a tapas is not going to last, neither in terms of its practice nor its result. Understand all the problems that people can have. If one is concerned about all this and wants this satkara, mana, and puja, what about the real thing that is there to be studied, to be understood? To assimilate it, there is so much to know. All these things go down the drain. Oh, these things go down the drain when one is worried about small things. All those things like satkara, mana, and puja, everything goes down the drain when one is worried about little things. I'm reminded of a valuable advice that Paramacharya Shri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati of Kanchimat gave to a leading Vedantin many years back. He told him that we must take care not to give importance to, when we train our children, not to emphasize or give importance, too much importance to money, fame, and name. Whereas our children must be trained with higher principles like service to the country, service to society, service to mankind, without really bothering about the results that will accrue as a result of this service. He would say to this great Vedantin that if one keeps our eyes focused on the sun, then one's shadow would helplessly have to follow along. The moment one takes our sights away from the sun, not only have we lost the light, but we've also lost the shadow. Likewise, we must raise the bar, we must rise above it all and look at the higher aspects, in fact, the highest aspect of this human life, which is moksha. Everything else is secondary to moksha. And what needs to be done to achieve moksha is to prepare one's antahkaranam, to achieve antahkarana shuddhi, so that one will be able to receive that precious knowledge that one's guru will teach you, will teach us, that will help us to achieve or reach or discover our higher self. With this, we complete Rajasika Tapas. In the following capsules, we will take up the topic of Tamasika Tapas. Until then, Hari Om.